are now tuned into DAR Sports Media, the college football show, coming to you on this fine Football Friday. We got a hell of a show in here for you tonight because finally we have one of the members of the United Football Media who was willing to walk down DAR Street, USA, come over here and hang out on our side of the tracks. It's Josh from the Brahma Bullpen, my personal favorite podcast over there on United Football Media, coming to us live, as he always is, from the cow pasture. A cow pasture that happens to have a direct path right into Aggie Stadium. Because our guy right here is an Aggie. He is Mr. Aggie. He is Captain Aggie. And one of our primary topics of the week are the Texas A&M Aggies. You know, the funny thing here is at the beginning of the year, right here on this very podcast, and it's great how it lined up because we were going to talk about this anyways. How we were very confused about why is Texas A&M favored over Notre Dame? Why is Texas A&M favored over Mizzou? I don't get it. Why is, and then how things went down this week. Now we have kind of flipped all the way around to where we say, how the fuck are they only ranked number 10 at this point? Because they barely lost to Notre Dame, a game that has looked bad and then came all the way back around to looking pretty good because Notre Dame looks pretty damn good, and maybe they just got caught one week. Whooped the dog shit out of Mizzou when they came in there, and then honestly, especially in the second half, they blew the doors off of LSU this week when they came in there as well. How poignant will it be if the end for the SEC West ends up coming down to Texas A&M and Texas? What a takeover right off the bat. If that ends up being the case, talk to us, man. So why was this team, why were people on them so early? Are they being underrated now? Because that's how we all feel. I feel like, what the fuck? Number 10, that's it? After they whooped the hell out of LSU like that and what was supposed to be a big game? So tell us about this team. Tell us the trajectory. Are they underrated right now?
Okay, well, first of all, in order to understand Aggie, we have to talk about something we call BAS, okay? And a lot of young bucks, a lot of the young Aggies, even those students enrolled right now, they probably don't know as much about BAS. But any of us old school Aggies, Big 12 days, it stands for Battered Aggie Syndrome. So to put it in short, we're always one breath away from an utter failure, as well as being one breath away from taking a fantastic step forward in the program. When we brought in Jimbo, we thought, okay, we got one of 5 national championship winning coaches. We got this great recruiter. He came in, did his thing, set the all-time record for the highest rated recruiting class since they've been tracking that data. What do? We go out and we win 7 games, right? We did have a 9-1 season COVID year. The quarterback, by the way, for that season was Kellen Mond, who is now a newly signed San Antonio Brahma. Let's go, baby. Let's go.
Horns up.
But with
horns
that being
forward.
said,
excuse me.
Forward, never up. But with that being said, we're always,
you gotta get Cam on here.
We're always one step away from what I would consider misery while being one step away from euphoria. And that's what battered Aggie syndrome is. So coming into the season, I'll be honest with you, we didn't want to be ranked. If you talked to any OG Ags at the time, we were like, don't rank us. Don't rank us. We don't want to be ranked. We don't want to be in the top 25 because that ultimately gives us hope. And when we get hope and then we lose hope, we get BAS. So I'm going to be honest with you. I'm a season ticket holder. Been there for years. I think I went to my first Aggie game probably around 96. So you guys can do the math there. But when we went to that Notre Dame game, we were worried. We were scared, but we were hopeful, i.e. BAS at the same time. We go in there and we lay a goose egg. Offense no good. I was calling for Connor Wegman to be benched day one, game one.
You were.
I was. Why we came in ranked so high, it's just solely because of our recruiting class, and fast forward to now, we were thinking 7-8 win season. Anybody that was being honest at the time, we were thinking 7-8 win season, but we didn't understand the Elko effect, the football
There we go.
Genius, the dog, the mofo that Elko had in him, the balls the size of volleyballs that he carries around with him through College Station, and where we're at now. We lost that game to Notre Dame. If no one caught that Elko press conference, he walked in, he was pissed. He was yelling. He said it's unacceptable. He apologized to the fans and said he's going to fix it. Now we've had 7 wins in a row, and he's a man of his word. They asked him in this last press conference, why has the fans embraced you so much? Because of your blue-collar work ethic? And he said, no, because I got 7 wins. The dude's a realist. There's also something else behind the scenes that maybe a lot of people don't know too much about, but I don't want to put anybody on blast, but let's just say there's players on the team who have family who are part of a well-known organization that's spending a lot of money within the university, and that's a college football story as old as time. You're so-and-so related to such and such, paid such and such, and now you're the starting whatever, okay? To be able to take that person out of the stands and put in this backup that maybe is not as well tied in or connected with big money folks, and for the sole purpose of winning a football game, that's football, boys. The other thing is, Elko is an OG football guy. So Wegman gets hurt. Elko believes you don't lose your position due to injury. Puts in Reed. Reed does great. Wegman comes back, puts Wegman in, gives him a chance. Wegman struggles. Balls of steel, man. Pull him, put the other guy in, let the other guy next man up, take us to the win, and that's where we're at now. I don't think we have anything to worry about.
Tell us about this cat. Tell us about this Reed guy.
Okay, so Reed has basically been a groomed quarterback. He's from Tennessee. Obviously, he's an RPO wizard. We're trying to nickname him. We're going to nickname him Marcel Zone Reed, right? Get it, Zone Reed.
There we go. There we go.
We're trying out Money Marcel with homage to my boy Johnny. You know, if you look right up here, you'll see some Johnny Marcel.
Yeah,
that's an autographed Heisman trophy right there. In case you're wondering, not a real one, obviously, but Money Reed we're going with. But you know, if you watch the LSU game, you saw on the broadcast that he played on the same team with Herb Street's boys, and he's just a good kid. Coach's son. The guy's extremely articulate. The guy does well in interviews. The guy is a team player. No one on the team has anything negative to say about him. And Wegman and him are obviously in the QB room together all the time. And, yeah, he's just a good cat, man. Down-to-earth dude. He's a redshirt freshman, and he gives us lots of hope. And, obviously, if you watch any of his gameplay, it reminds me of Lamar. I mean, you know, you always draw a comparison to play styles and things like that, and I try to avoid that because every player is their own player. But man, when the way he holds the ball, the way he runs with the ball, and the way he throws the ball, it just reminds me so much of Lamar. And as we know in the NFL, which where these guys are trying to get, that's the modern day quarterback. That's what everybody needs and wants, right?
Hell yeah, Tay, what was your thoughts on our big matchup this past weekend? LSU, Texas A&M.
Texas A&M came out to play. I kind of saw it coming because LSU they just been riding the high horse for too long. They had too many big wins. It just seemed fluky, and it was just a perfect setup game. You know, like they put them high. They ranked them number 8. You know, and Texas A&M they came to ruin that. So yeah, I mean Texas A&M they've surprised me because a couple years ago, you know, they had that recruiting class and whatnot. So it's good to see them actually good, you know, because I remember back then, like that year, highly touted and stuff. Like we expected so much from them because they had so many 5-stars, so many 4-stars. Like it was like the next big college. Like that was around the time when it was still Bama and whatnot. So yeah. We had high hopes, and I guess it's paying off now. A lot of those guys are gone, but I mean, A&M is completely.
That's actually a misnomer. So that was the other thing under Jimbo, the transfers out. We really only lost 2 or 3 guys from that number 1 recruiting class. Everyone else is still here. Yeah. That's a non-Aggie media blitz that wanted everybody to believe that. We did not lose that many players. We had a lot of players enter the portal, come back when Elko got on campus. So you got to understand, too, Elko helped recruit a lot of these defensive guys. That's the other part about the team. Our defense stacked.
Yeah, because Elko was the DC down there, right? Before he went to Duke. Okay. Yeah.
The 91
so when he came back, a lot of players came with him. Yeah.
And stayed. Our secondary. Now we do have portal guys. He also kicked butt in the portal. I think we got 11 portal guys if I remember the number right. One of the guys, Nick Scorton, who was the number one leading sack getter for the Big Ten last year. He played for Purdue. Funny thing about him, he's from Bryan College Station. He went to high school there. Elko recruited him when he was in high school, but he wound up not getting an offer because Elko thought he was too small, right? This dude, Skirton's dad, used to Uber people to and from the stadium and never been inside the stadium. Huge Aggie fans. Obviously, they grew up right next to the stadium. Skirton, Nick goes up to Purdue, gets his opportunity to come back. Here he is doing amazing things, holding down the D-line. He's definitely the leader on the D-line. And it's just cool to just see his family front row, player bench, having a great time, and his son getting to live out his dream of playing in Kyle Field, just playing in that field of 108,000 people in that stadium. 108,000. And
what else? Go ahead.
I was gonna say it's nothing to scoff at when you play and sell out and oversell the largest football stadium in the state of Texas. On a regular basis.
Tell you what else stood out to you this weekend, man.
Well, I was upset that BYU actually did beat.
They gave work to USC.
I can't just. I was wrong. I can't just act like I was right. And Colorado,
they're win 6. Hold y'all, motherfucker, man. Hey, it's looking like it. The defense, ever since the second half of that Nebraska game, has been fucking legit. And I got into argument with a couple of goddamn fucking mouth breathers about this shit last week. I had people telling me now all of a sudden this isn't that impressive. It's not that impressive to take a 1-11 team to a fucking bowl game 2 years later. This fucking guy, you will not fucking believe this. I swear to God. Someone told me, well, it's not that impressive because he did it with all transfer portal players. As if that wasn't one of the primary things that people were saying this was a reason that this was going to fucking fail when he first did it. Now it's getting turned around into, well, that made it easy. That one of the primary things that people said would never fucking work. They said Deion Sanders would not work on this level. They said completely flipping over a roster with transfer portal players would never fucking work. And now I'm having these same fucking people tell me that, well, it doesn't count because they did it with transfer portal players. We don't really do too much of this. We're very careful with what we say when it comes to this category on this show because we don't want to make important things seem less important or watered down. But I'm sorry if you hear what I just said and you don't think there's a fucking race component to this. I don't know where the fuck your head's at because people are now using the exact shit they said would never work against him to try and make it like this is less of an accomplishment. Get the fuck out of here. Way to fucking go, Colorado. Yeah, way to fucking go, Colorado. I hope they keep fucking winning. I hope it's 8-9 bowl game. Again, this was also brought up in these conversations, and we've been saying it every week on here. I'm very curious to see what it looks like next year. I don't know what's going to happen when he doesn't have the number one player in the nation and a top 5 draft pick quarterback playing for him anymore. We'll see. We'll see if he's even there, but you cannot denigrate what the fuck the level of accomplishment this is. I had somebody tell me, oh, it's not that rare. I said, cool. Tell me all the teams that have went from 1-11 that went to 8 wins in a bowl the next year, 6 to 8 wins in a bowl 2 years later. And they named off 3 in the last 10 years and acted like they had won. Mm-hmm. Three times in 10 years, and you're telling me this is not a special accomplishment? That sounds like a special accomplishment to me. Just like all those people making those arguments, how you have maybe hugged a girl fucking 3 times in the last 10 years, you probably felt like that was a pretty special fucking day. That's how special this is, that what they're doing up there in fucking Colorado. You fucking losers. Drew, what do you think? Go ahead, Josh.
Let me give a Dion opinion. Okay, I'm a Cowboys fan. So at one time I hated Dion because he was playing for the 49ers and the Falcons, right? But
boy, was he ever, yeah.
And then he was a Cowboy. So now I love Dion. So and little side point, my wife loves college football as well. So when Dion got up in Colorado, we bought into the hype and the buzz. When I pretty much have watched every game since. The negative stuff I've heard about it is because he's basically been with his son since high school, right? And Travis, right? They've basically been on the same team since high school, and they went up, and he's coming up through college ranks with them, and now they've worked their way from an HBCU, and now they're at a D1, right? And I don't know if people criticize them because they're a package deal, and so with what you're saying, like maybe they feel like he didn't cut his chops in the coaching world like it should have, right? Like some coaches start at Pee-wee, high school, work their way up 20 years later before they get a D1 opportunity. I could see how, I don't know why fans would give a crap as long as they're winning. Who cares? But I do think,
but
some of the criticism,
Dion being a different beast is like the whole thing. Like, so it's its own, special situation.
And he was the first to do it. And he was the first to do
this
whole
fucking guy told me, he said, just because this has never happened doesn't make it unprecedented. I said, motherfucker, do you know what the word unprecedented means? It means there is no precedent for it. You fucking dumbass.
Word of the day.
Yes, it does.
Word of the day.
Unprecedented. Holy shit.
He's going to have to recruit.
Yeah. I mean, it's going to be interesting next year.
I haven't kept up with the recruiting ranking and classes and all that stuff. I don't know where he's at right now. But that's the next step to see if he's a legit D1 coach. What's the next class going to be like? What's that recruiting? I mean,
that's going to be the real proof, the final proof. True thoughts? What stood out to you this weekend?
I got 2 things to say. First, didn't realize we had a Cowboys fan on the panel today, so you should absolutely come along and jump on the NFL show.
Probably not. No.
We need somebody to defend the Cowboys' honor. It ain't much to defend this year.
He should bring the guy from the Renegades rundown with him too.
Bring him on.
There ain't no honor in Dallas, true.
Bring him on.
How is it being a Cowboys fan?
That's a good question. How is it? Right
I never do you like being a Cowboys fan? Realistically,
we live in the past. We live in the past, man. We sit down. Okay. We watch Dak and dream about Troy. How about that?
Look at between this guy right here, Cowboys and the Aggies. Look into his eyes. Like that's a man that has fucking pain in those eyes.
That's some pain.
That was a Styles lyric, right? You could see that pain in my eyes when I sleep. That's
And then we had Brahma's team scored 0 in the UFL championship.
Oh yeah, it's carrying on the legacy. What?
I want to say. The second thing is I wasn't as big on LSU. Going back to the Texas A&M thing, I wasn't big on LSU. When we were talking the other week about teams that Alabama could potentially overtake that are above them in the rankings. LSU was one of those teams where I looked at and I said, I'm just not completely sold on them. And I mean, I think you kind of saw why when they went against Texas A&M. It looked like more of a methodical game by Texas A&M. There, they kind of tore them apart throughout the game. I'm just not big on LSU. I've never been a big on LSU, no matter what. That's just my personal thing. As far as anything else that stood out, I was a little disappointed because I did make the prediction. I was hoping, begging, pleading, wishing that Penn State took an L for that big game, and I was very confident at one point. I think we were talking about in the group chat, Eric, when we were talking about Wisconsin got the lead. I was like, yes, if you put some money down on Wisconsin, some money down on Wisconsin, this might be something. But that was the one thing. I mean, everything else to me kind of business as usual. It felt like nothing too out of the ordinary this week. I mean, we got a real big game this week coming up with 2 ranked teams. So I mean, that's the one to look forward to.
What are we thinking? Is Penn State finally gonna?
They better.
fucking
They better.
finally gonna climb that hill, or is it
They
just gonna
better.
be business as usual?
They better. My hope and wish is that they don't, but they better.
Yeah.
So
Is it a whiteout,
nothing.
right?
What's that?
Is it a whiteout in Penn State?
They white, black, orange out, whatever the fuck they got to do, because this has been the same old story the whole entire James Franklin era. So what do you think there, Josh? Are they finally going to fucking clear this hurdle?
No. I think Ohio State's come through. No, Ohio State is Ohio State until someone turns them into Bama. Meaning, like, everyone, they're going to keep winning until someone starts beating them or something drastic changes. Day can't do much, but what he can do is beat Penn State.
And I mean, people, I don't know why Ohio State's kind of been looked at like people are kind of fading them. Their loss was to what most people agree is currently the best team in the country. Oregon. And it was in the last seconds. They barely fucking lost by a hair. So I would still consider them just as good as ever. Like, you're going to lose close games sometimes against great teams. So I would not at all be surprised to see them come in there and stomp Penn State the fuck out. But, prove me wrong. This is it, Penn State. Like, one of these days, you're going to have to show us. What do you think there, Tay? Biggest game of the weekend?
It's going to be one of those old school games, 14-13. Like, Ohio State hasn't scored a lot of points this year. Like, neither of these teams really score that much. If you really think about it, like, when they play the like the smaller schools, they'll score like 35 or 28. Like, it'll be a defensive game for sure. Like 14-13 kind of thing. I think it'll be close. I definitely have Ohio State though, because like Penn State doesn't do that. They never have, never will, and haven't seen anything to sway me. And Ohio State is good. They are good. Yeah. They took Oregon down to the wire. So yeah, I like Ohio State in this, but I think it'll be close though. I think Penn State's good. They're not great. They're good though. So they'll make it interesting, but they won't beat Ohio State.
What about your Ducks, man? You got any concerns about them going into Ann Arbor? I mean, they got a bunch of fucking future janitors playing quarterback, but
yeah, that's that. Yeah,
I mean, they lost to Texas. How good could they be? Texas is trash. Oh, did I say my bad?
Yes. Now we get into it. Hey Cam, if you listen, fuck you, buddy. That's right. Fuck you in them Longhorns. I'm about to text Cam there right now. I'm gonna text Cam.
I was
texting right now.
He needs to come on at this point. Like, it's being directly. We got a guy on here talking horns down. University of Texas University, like all that stuff. He needs to come down and lay his sword at down here. But Oregon going into Michigan. What do you think there, Tay? No problem.
Nah, nah. We're on another level. Like, this isn't last year. Yeah, I'd have been worried for sure. But everyone left, coaching staff gone. It's just not their season, which is fine. They won a championship. I'm sure it's worth it. Like, if I was a Michigan fan, I wouldn't be upset. Just one.
If the Aggies ask me to steal a bunch of signs for 2 years and we get a championship out of it,
right? Exactly.
And then I get a Netflix special out of the deal. I'm in.
Oh yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, they're cool. Like, they're not bad, but like, you can definitely tell like they're going through it right now. So no, they're not going to beat Oregon. Like, I want to see backups in by the fourth quarter. That I want to beat them.
Could be.
I want to beat them.
Anything else on your radar for this weekend?
Not necessarily. Yes, I like the. I want to talk about Indiana. Why are they still ranked 13?
Undefeated.
Right, yeah, undefeated. Why? Yeah, doing it big. Who are they playing this weekend?
Michigan State.
Okay, should remain undefeated.
Yeah, why have they not?
I'm kind of confused about Pitt too, but Indiana even more because it's supposed to be the glory.
They play SMU, right? It's Pitt SMU this weekend.
Yeah,
it is. It's a big game.
That's gonna be a great game too.
SMU, that's a whole nother hilarious fucking storyline because they were the example. They're the example that the big boys at Florida State was trying to use to get out of the ACC, and SMU might win that motherfucker this year. They really have a chance.
Let me tell you this about SMU. You know how Florida State wants out of the ACC so they can go make more money somewhere else? This whole money, granted rights, and all this stuff. SMU, that school has so much money that they joined the ACC. They said, "Keep your damn money. We're going to come in here and we're going to kick your butts." I mean, think about that.
Yeah, didn't they? Yeah, they paid their own way into it, didn't they?
They're not taking a single dollar from the conference for, I think, 7 years or something like that. And let's not forget, this is
this is shameful.
Exactly.
Look, you don't even got to pay us. We'll come in there and whoop y'all ass for free. Whoa, that is tough on the ACC. But yeah, go ahead, Indiana. What's your thoughts there, Tay?
I'm just wondering why they're not ranked higher. Like, I mean, they've cleared their schedule. They've even beat some good, like Nebraska. I wouldn't say they're bad. They blew them out by 49. Like they have a good win. You know, they've been running through their schedule. They haven't had any close games. Now look, they haven't had not one close game. I don't know. They're being slept on. Like, I don't know if they're a top 10 team, but they gotta be respected as of now. Like, it's just not fair for them to be ranked 13 still, and they're gonna have to be undefeated to make the playoff. That's what it looks like, and I don't think that's right because they got Ohio State and about 2 or 3
all
weeks.
they got left in this year is really Ohio State.
Yeah,
I mean, so they play Michigan at home.
Yeah,
but I don't. Michigan's really not that threatening this year.
They're gonna beat Michigan, but
off.
I just think they're just so far back. Like, they lose Ohio State, they might barely miss it. Like, they might put them at like 14 or something like that. And then
if they're going to have to go undefeated.
Yeah, they're going to put in 3 lost SEC teams and stuff. Like, which doesn't make any sense to me. So I guess they're waiting for them to play Ohio State, but that's not fair. That's not fair.
It's weird that we kind of have the same rooting interest that we would in a non-Power 5, a Group of 5 team.
Mm-hmm.
But they're in the fucking Big Ten. Like, this is supposed to not be an issue. Yeah. For sure. What's sticking out to you this weekend? Any chance there? I mean, I would not give a chance to South Carolina because you want to talk about a syndrome. South Carolina going to South Carolina. That's just, we've already seen it in a couple of games this year, so they ain't pulling that off. But anything else that sticks out to you this weekend there, Josh?
On the South Carolina game, I'll give you a little insight. So when we joined the SEC, they forced this rivalry down our throat, right? They tried to make it our cross East-West conference rival. So in the Aggie fandom, and we view them as the hardest game we play every year, even though we're 9-1 against them since joining the conference. But it's a sarcastic rival. So if you get caught up on any Aggie X feeds or Instagram feeds this week, we'll be talking about how terrified we are to go play in South Carolina. We'll be talking about them as our biggest rival, even bigger than LSU or Texas or Arkansas or any of these other schools. South Kakalaki is the school that we're the most worried about each and every year. We recruit to beat South Carolina. And even some Aggies don't get the sarcasm. Other Aggies have to get on there and be like, hey, it's sarcasm. It's a made-up rival. Been to a game up there in South Carolina. We sometimes get to make road trips up there. It's a beautiful stadium. The people are super nice. I love every South Carolina Gamecock fan I've ever met. Never been treated poorly one time. A lot of respect for that school. I like Beamer. I like watching his dad at Virginia Tech. But yeah, man, this game's not going to be close. Our defense, I'll give you a stat against LSU. In the first half against LSU, our defense gave up 26 yards rushing, and when the game ended, they had 24 yards rushing. Right? You go into a game and you can't run the ball, you're gonna lose 9 times out of 10. Right? So I think our front seven is going to be that dominant up there in South Carolina. That quarterback they got up there has wheels and can run, but he ain't outrunning our guys. I can just say that I don't think they're going to do well on the ground, and their one weakness is passing the ball. So I just don't think it looks good for them. The most points we've given up all year is 23, and if we play Reed, we'll be in the 30s. So I really think 33, 35 to 20 type game coming on.
So, Heisman race. I know, Drew, you're still on the Genty thing. Me too, especially with like the trajectory of that team, where they could go, what they could end up being on his back, on his way to a record set. But I was hearing some wild analysis last weekend that he's gonna have to break the record to win it. That and I just think that's fucking crazy. Like, he's clearly the best player in college football. Like, why do you need to? If that's the rule, if that's the standard, then it really is the rumor or the gimmick that everybody say, oh, it's just the best quarterback award. And I don't like, that's what it's going to be. If the dude has to break an all-time a record, by the way, that everyone thought was like holy, that nobody was ever going to fucking touch. I don't think that should be the case. If Ashton Genty goes for 2,200 yards and 20 touchdowns and they make the playoff as Boise State at G5, what the fuck are we talking about here? Like, this Cam Ward thing, great player. I get it, but
Lee's not here to defend himself right now.
I think it's fucking insane. I think it's insane. They've almost fucked around and lost 3 fucking times. They're playing Duke this weekend. They might fucking lose this game. I think it's fucking nuts, man. What do you think there, True?
It's the same reason. It's the same reason why P. Rose ain't in the Hall of Fame. It's because who's voting on it.
I got you. What do you think there, True?
As far as Genty is concerned, and go back to that, I'm anxious to see what he does against San Diego State. I think he kind of he looked like he had not a rough game, but by his standards,
slightly rough. It was a grind. Yeah, it was a grind. Yeah, they needed it. I mean, but that was their big matchup, UNLV.
Yeah, so I think
football game, by the way, we're staying up for last Friday night.
Oh, for sure. So I'm anxious to see what this Friday game is. Game is going to be. I would like to see a 250, 300 type of game. See how that goes. But yeah, man, I'm still on the Genty train. I'm on Genty watch every week just to see what his numbers look like, see how many TDs he can bring in, and yeah. As far as you mentioned the Miami thing, I wish Lee was here because I really wonder why he's so adamant about Cam Ward. I'm curious.
Cam Ward is the odds-on favorite right now. He has the best odds at the sportsbook. I don't understand.
And Cam Ward, don't get me wrong, Cam Ward is talented. I mean, he is exactly.
Yes. No, he's bad, legit.
Yeah, but what he's advertising. But once again, anything that has to do with Miami, you ain't getting me to say anything positive about anything with Miami. Shout out to my guy Chris, obviously, but you ain't getting me to say nothing about positive about Miami players. But I'm on the Genty train, man. I will always be on the Genty train. I just am. I've been a fan of his, but this year, just seeing him take his game to another level, it's just been amazing. So I'm gonna keep riding with my guy. That's my guy this year. I can't wait to see what they do. Like I said, do on Friday, and yeah, that's what I'm rolling with. In terms of rest of these games this week, nothing really sticks out to me. I don't have anything sticking out that that looks like it's gonna be anything special. So
Louisville, Clemson.
But that's why college football is great.
Florida, Georgia.
That's why college football is great, because you never know. Every week has special games. You just don't know which ones they're going to be.
That is true.
What are your thoughts on this Heisman Trophy situation?
I think Boise State's too good to leave Genty out of it. Like, I would give it to him. And I don't think that's right to have to break a record, because when was that ever a thing? Like when Mark Ingram, Derrick Henry, like when was that ever? Like, why now do you have to break a record? Like, we know they're a good team. They went toe to toe with Oregon to the last minute. I think they're gonna go to the playoff. They're right there. I don't see anyone beating them, so I don't see why not. Like, they're gonna be ranked.
I think they might go to the playoff, and they might win a game.
That's what I'm. Honestly, I was just thinking about that. So I would give it to him. I definitely wouldn't. I wouldn't. I don't even have Cam Ward second either. I would have Travis Hunter right behind Genty, honestly. Just the fact
Yeah.
playing both sides of the ball,
Yeah.
high level, like he's one of the best receivers and one of the best corners. So, yeah, I have Genty leading right now. So, yeah.
What do you think there, Josh?
Well, I'm pretty biased. I'll tell you why. Cam Ward.
Well, because Malik Reed's going to run away with it, obviously now. But
No. I'm pulling for Ward. I'm pulling for Ward. Reed's going to win it next year.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm pulling for Ward because UIW, University of Connor Ward here in San Antonio.
Yeah.
There for a couple of years before he got up over to Miami. His parents still go to all the UIW games. They still support all the UIW fundraisers. The Caballeros are going to be playing in UIW Stadium for the IFA Summer League. And Cam Ward still talks about UIW and how instrumental going there, the coaching staff there, and getting those reps there at the lower division of college football prepared him for what he's doing right now. And he's just an all-around good guy. And he's got a great family, and he's a San Antonio local. So Puro San Antonio, let's get that Heisman, baby. I guarantee if he wins that Heisman trophy will be down here in San Antonio. Promise you.
That's what's true. That's what's hilarious about this too. Is Josh over here is a Cowboys guy and an Aggies guy, but both him and Cam are hardcore San Antonio people.
I know, right?
That's the best part.
Texas, man. It's that Texas thing, man. It's that Texas thing, I guess. It's
there's one thing that dude loves above all is San Antonio. So that's good.
Josh. Okay, so you're a San Antonio guy. I'm trying to think of any others. Are you a baseball guy at all?
I watch baseball, not like football. Baseball is probably my third sport.
Do you have because there's two teams in Texas. I think two. It might be more than that, right? I don't think it is. I think it's two teams in Texas. Houston and the Rangers. Do you support either one, or are you?
I support both, but the Astros when they're playing each other.
There you go.
Okay.
Josh, tell us about before we get up out of here. What else you got going on, man? There's been a couple of so for anybody who's listening to this, because we picked up a few subscribers since UFL season. DAR provides a show for the United Football Media, covers spring football and international football and everything else that goes on around the world. Provide those guys with coverage because those are awesome leagues, and we just love football, so we want it to proliferate. And that's what they do over there on United Football Media. Please check out their YouTube page. You can see all our old episodes. Our man here, Josh, he hosts a show about the San Antonio Brahmas. And they have had some additions to the roster. I think he posted up some new episodes somewhat recently, more recently than a lot of the other channels on there. By the way, on the UFM, they have podcasts. They have YouTube channels for every single team in the UFL. And we are also building a relationship coming up with the new IFA, International Football Alliance. Is it Alliance or Association?
Alliance.
International Football Alliance. There's a Mexican team, a bunch of American teams. It'll play through the summer. It's fucking insane that they're going to play games in fucking Mexico. God damn it. But as I'm saying this as a person who fucking loves Mexico, has gone to Mexico many, 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 many times. Big fan of Mexico. But I have experience in Mexico. Therefore, I'm saying it's fucking insane that they're playing fucking summertime football games down there. So tell us what you've had going on over their channel, what people can check out there, Josh.
Yeah, so we'll be dropping some new episodes. I've been keeping the roster updated for the Brahmas with the recent signings. Check me out on @SA Brahma Bullpen on my X account. I actually just posted the most updated roster you can find on the internet for the Brahmas this year. Got a lot of our key players coming back next year. We had the number one defense in the league, made it to the championship game, won the XFL conference. Almost every player is coming back. We got a running back, John Lovett, coming back, who was one of our top guys last year, hard runner. And of course, we made a huge upgrade at the quarterback position with K-Mon. So keep your eyes out for that. I think Brahma's going to be tough again next year. I'm already calling my shot. We're going to kick DC's ass. You can send that to them.
Huge news, especially if AJ Smith is back and you got Kellen Mond running that offense. Oh shit!
Yeah, it's going to be good, man. And I'm working. I'm politicking for an upgrade at the tight end position. So we'll see if we can't get that going on. But as far as the Caballeros go, they have sent out a ton of camp invites. I'm not doing a big roster breakdown on them because it's their first season and they're they're going to have these huge camp rosters, and there's going to be a lot of cutting and whittling down. I can tell you that made it to the on the field activities for the Caballeros, the open tryouts that they had down here in San Antonio. Had a great time doing that. There's an episode on the UFM channel there underneath the Brahma Bullpen page if you want to check any of that live action out. But the team's looking stacked, man. I can tell you that we got players coming from tons of SEC schools. We got tons of D1 players in camp, and we've even got some former UFL and indoor football and arena football guys coming into that, already invited to camp, so they'll be there. There's probably going to be one more team announced. Right now we're at 7 teams, only one team in Mexico. So if you're keeping up with the IFA a little bit, watch for the 8th team. They're not going to go in a season with an odd number of teams. Right now there's only one team in Mexico. When the league first launched, there was 3 teams in Mexico, and I guess ownership
things didn't work out.
Issues or something didn't
Honestly,
work out.
I think it's a better idea just because you have a richer talent pool to field a Mexican team of Mexican nationals if you just have the one team. So I think that's a good idea.
And one thing a lot of people might not know about the IFA is they're required to have a minimum international players on their team. So you cannot have a team that's just USA players. So, it's imperative that group stays international. I know that's a goal. I've talked to a few guys over there at the league level. That's definitely a go. And ultimately, it's not just Mexico and U.S. They would like to probably get into Canada and maybe further south, give or take, and maybe even into Europe eventually, which, that's even the NFL's dream. I don't know if you watch the NFL, but it seems like every Sunday there's a game starting at 8 a.m. Central Time.
Oh, that's happening. It's just a matter of when.
Hungover.
Whether it's going to be 2 London teams or a London and a Frankfurt, Germany team, which I think is a good idea.
It's something. But, so check out the channel. We're getting close to go time. Probably about December, we'll start dropping episodes every week. So we're getting there. The league's going to kick off in March. Let's go Brahmas, baby.
Yeah. So get with that guy's YouTube page for San Antonio Brahmas coverage and IFA San Antonio Caballeros coverage. Everything you need. True. True. You want to plug our stuff over here in DAR? Go ahead.
Yeah. Oh man, it's way too much. Let me take a breath before I get into it. Right now, obviously, we just dropped the NBA Hoops Hour. That was on Monday. Dropped the NFL for Week 9. We did a Week 8 review, Week 9 preview. Obviously, you have this episode. We got a week of wrestling coming up. Believe that's coming this week. I think for sure we got that coming. The Medium site going crazy right now. Shout out to Tev. He made his podcast debut on Monday with us on the Hoops Hour. He has a ton of NBA articles. I put up a couple articles these last couple days. Got a couple more. You can check our Week 9 preview NFL. That's on the Medium site as well. October has been our most successful month by several miles at this point. So very, very excited about that. Obviously, the music. Me and Apollo got our joint. This time is of the essence. That's out. I got SR6 on November 11th. I think that's it for right now. I'm probably missing 1 or 2 things, but it's just, we got a lot going on right now.
I think you were going to say the Longhorns suck, right?
Oh, hold on. I'm sorry. Yeah, Texas Longhorns suck. Let's get that clear. Let's get that clear. Let's get that clear. I don't wish nothing good for the Texas Longhorns ever in life. But unfortunately, Josh, I don't also wish anything good for the Dallas Cowboys ever in life too. So it all
trade-offs and everything.
Yeah, nothing good happens to us anyways. We don't gotta worry about it.
That's true. Nothing good happens. I know. We gotta get you in an NFL show because somebody has to at least remember the days of Michael Irvin, Emmitt Smith, Troy Aikman, maybe Dak and CD, and maybe that's not the best time right now. I think CD's a really talented receiver. I think he's a talented guy, but yeah, somebody got to come on there and defend the Cowboys' honor.
It's the Cowboy show now.
No. Whoa. No.
He's trying to Cowboy
show.
I'm trying to invite Josh. I'm trying to invite Josh to the show. Wait, Tay.
30 points in fantasy this week, so yeah. Go see.
Wait, Tay. Hold on now. I'm trying to invite somebody to the NFL show so he can come and talk with us. And I'm sure he cares about other things besides just the Cowboys. I would hope. So if that's the case, I'm trying to send an invite to this gentleman who joined us tonight. It is not the Cowboys hour, because trust me, if it was the Cowboys hour, 55 of those minutes are gonna be me shitting on the Cowboys. So let's not make this the Cowboys hour. It's not what we doing.
I would expect it to be 58.
No, 55, because somebody has to come in for 5 minutes. Take it the other 5 minutes. Let's go. Hey,
I'd be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if we added a Cowboy show on top of all those things that you just named, because we're blowing it up on the Medium site. We're blowing it up with these pods. We got some big guests coming through, as you can see.
Hayden goes far. Hayden goes far.
Podcasting royalty in the house tonight. We thank you so much for joining us. All of these things happen because the world of DAR never stops.
That's right.